Hi everyone, this is Philip. I'm the co-founder here at SalesWings. And today we're going to talk about your MQLs and how you can avoid that they slip through the cracks of your sales teams. So we're going to talk about some effortless ways that make sure that your sales reps really pay attention to your MQLs. So we're not going to blame that on sales because you really own these MQLs. So you want to make sure that they get informed at the right time when they need to engage them. So what are we going to look at today? First of all, let's quickly cover the top reasons that we see in the space why MQLs really slip through the cracks. Then we're going to talk about the impact of speed to lead on revenue. So the correlation between how fast your sales reps are in touch with a lead once they're ready to be engaged on your revenue. We're then going to look at the SalesWings alert system, but really also how SalesWings insights can be leveraged in your connected systems to send real-time alerts and put these MQLs right in front of your reps. SalesWings offers great native functionality, but we can also trigger alerts and surface MQLs within Salesforce Sales Cloud. Then, of course, through your marketing automation system, or if you happen to have Zapier, through Zapier. And the aim is really to find what works best for your team and your process and how you're being set up. And that may vary depending on your setup. So let's have a look at why do MQL slip through the cracks. So whether you call them MQL or MQA or product qualified leads, it doesn't matter. First of all, you may just not have visibility into your buyer's decision stage. So if you're a SalesWings customer, of course, this is not going to be the case because we help you really qualify your leads, your accounts, and make sure you get the timing right. But that can simply be a reason is that you're not aware and don't have the data that allows you to detect that. Secondly, we see a lot of companies and teams that struggle with CRM adoption. So sales reps, typically in some of the more conservative industries, sales reps just don't often enough log into CRM. So this is an issue, but there are other places where they work where you can reach them. The other thing is, let's say they do use CRM, but in fact, they're just not looking at the same views as you are. So are you really aware how your sales reps are working? Well, it may be that they're not looking at those reports or lists that you've prepared for them. So training is the answer here. Also, when it comes to prioritization, too much information sometimes kills information. So you don't want to hand off leads too early or accounts. And you want to make sure they can focus and that those MQLs that you want them to pay attention to really stick out. And then sales reps just sometimes are in the field, right? They're not in the office, they're having lunch, or they're visiting a customer, or they're on a business trip. So then they're just also not in front of their computer. But again, there's ways you can make sure that your MQLs don't slip through the cracks. Now, let's very briefly look at the impact of speed to lead on revenue. So what is speed to lead? Speed to lead is really how quickly your team responds to intent. So how quickly is your sales rep responding to a lead that raises their hand, whether through a web form or just by showing strong engagement and signals that tell us that there is possible interest. So we know that the shorter the sales cycle is, also the more speed to lead matters. So you don't want to miss the right timing to reach out to a prospect. Um, and there is real business impact here. So there's a lot of stats out there you can read, but it's pretty much proven that there is a direct correlation between success and how fast you're responding to engaged customers and buyers. Um, Sadly, in fact, today the average response rate from B2B companies is more than a day, almost 2 days until a B2B lead is really tackled, and that's obviously not okay. Now, if you do respond within 5 minutes, now that's ambitious, and of course it depends on the situation. But some of the faster sales cycles, we see how, you know, responding instantly can provide you up to 100 times more likeliness that you can actually connect with the customer before they're in another context or in another meeting. And also, some stats say that if you respond within an hour, you have a 7 times higher chance to qualify that lead or the account that you're contacting. And ultimately, and I think this is a really interesting number, there are stats that say that about 50% of the sales go to the vendor that responds first to a buyer that is in the market. So these are significant, but let's really look at now how we can tackle that. First of all, SalesWings has a great native capability, but to start with, you have the perfect data set to manage your leads and accounts and to ensure that these MQLs don't slip through the cracks. So as you know, we call these SalesWings insights. And what are some of the insights that we're giving you? So of course, you can, qualify your entire CRM base, uh, rank them by ideal customer profile and by persona with our lead grading solution. Furthermore, you can use, website visits and visits to specific pages, important pages, which will tell you that somebody is actually evaluating us at the moment. So having a radar on your website is a great tool. And of course, our predictive scoring reliably detects momentum, and it detects when somebody increases their research and increases to engage with our communication and also our company. And finally, we have the multiple scoring categories, which allow you to really understand where is the biggest interest of a particular buyer or an account, and then when are they ready to be handed over to sales. Furthermore, we have a granular way, of course, to identify specific interests. So our tagging system, you have all this data if you're a SalesWings customer, which services or products are they interested in? What are topics that are of interest to this customer? Is there a seasonal campaign, like an event you go to or a product launch that they've shown interest in? Or simply, person level or account level buying intent. Then also type of interest. This is a little bit more linked to routing and ensuring the MQL goes in front of the the right team. And then also campaign engagement that we can detect to create alignment between marketing and sales around marketing campaigns. Now, our insights are natively and optimally available in your connected systems. But of course, SalesWings at the core has great ways to make sure that your MQLs are reaching your sales teams. Now, within Sales Cloud, we have what I call Sales Cloud driven ways and approaches to create alignment between marketing and sales and support your sales team to really see when somebody needs attention. So I call these Sales Cloud driven because these can also be systems connected to Sales Cloud, such as Tableau, Power BI, or through an email being sent out of Sales Cloud. And we're going to go into a little bit of detail in just a minute. Then, of course, your marketing automation platform, whether this is Braze or Salesforce or Iterable or any other one that's connected to Sales Cloud. And then we have Zapier, of course. Zapier connects our insights to thousands of tools and then allows you to take action in other systems, such as creating a task for a salesperson. So of course we need these signals and these insights. And then if we just look at SalesWings, first of all, you can trigger real-time email alerts straight from SalesWings. And these are minimally invasive. So here we have our standard email alert when a favorite contact or lead visits a website. So a lot of sales reps just live in their inbox. They work in their inbox. They're used to reading and monitoring email. And if we send them timely email alerts, we're actually pretty sure wherever they're at and wherever they're working, that they're going to have at least a signal that there is a potential lead or contact they could contact with. And then from here, we provide a direct link to the Sales Cloud record and we also send straight the insights, the behavior, and intent of this person. We're going to look at this in just a minute. And here's how easy this is. So within SalesWings, you have this section here called Falcon Actions, and I can easily create actions. And one of these actions, of course, are email alerts. So I can say, okay, here's a qualified Sales Cloud MQL to consider. So this will be the subject of your sales alert. And then you have all the insights available here. So for instance, I can say, okay, we want to send, let's just check out my score, when the Salesforce score reaches 40, but also we want that they have visited a pricing page, and possibly I have some attribute data. Remember, you can send Salesforce data or data from other systems to SalesWings, and you can say, well, if we have an account tier 1 on top of that, we want to send an email notification straight to the assigned lead or contact owner. So that's going to make sure that we send instant alerts. And you want to start with a bit of a higher threshold. We don't want to overwhelm salespeople and start ignoring them. Send less email alerts, put the threshold a bit higher, and then get feedback from your sales teams, whether these are useful or too many, or if they have capacity for more. And you can, of course, create a range of alerts, and you can adjust them and modify them easily over time. Secondly, SalesWings sends browser alerts. So if you bring your sales teams into the SalesWings cockpit, we have a Chrome extension. And let's just picture I'm a salesperson, I'm reading the news here, NBA, of course, always interesting. So on the right-hand side, our Chrome extension provides sales reps with a real-time view on their engaged and qualified leads and contacts. So I have always access here to the site, to the sidebar. And if I do that here, no matter where I am, outside of the CRM, I can quickly then jump into the CRM and take additional action based on the information I'm seeing. But of course, yes, so we do send these alerts. So here you have an example how these browser alerts are looking. And then we have Slack alerts. So SalesWings has a native integration with Slack, which is really great for Salesforce customers. So we see here Susanna Summer of this salesperson. It's going to give some high-level insights. And if I click here, as a salesperson, I'm going to immediately see the details of the journey. It's going to give me the insights of SalesWings, such as industry interest, etc. And the great thing with Slack alerts is actually if your sales reps have Apple Watches or smartwatches, these alerts are also going to be visible straight on the smartwatch. Now let's have a look at what I call Sales Cloud driven alerting. So in Sales Cloud, you have a range of ways how you can leverage our insights to align with sales on your MQLs. Firstly, we have native reporting, we have native dashboards, but also if your team is often in the field or you have dashboards for salespeople in your business intelligence system, of course, all these third-party connected systems to Salesforce have access to our data perfectly in the lead, a contact account, an opportunity data model. Now, within Salesforce, just to give you one view, remember that reports and views, you can also add them, for example, to the home screen. That's a great idea when your sales reps log into CRM in the morning. You can give them a list of prioritized leads, prioritized accounts. You can see here, for instance, how our predictive score draws the ride to an MQL. So very interesting and effortless for your sales teams. Or you could create very specific reporting where they can dive into. So there are many ways how you can create alignment. Another use case is that you could create a report with specific intent. Here you can see a lead and contact report. Remember, this is Salesforce native reporting where we have surfaced all the people that have shown interest in attending Dreamforce this year. And we reached out to these prospects to meet them at Dreamforce, and it was very successful. And it's as easy as creating a report with a filter for a product interest or event or campaign, and then you hand them over to your sales teams. And what's also fantastic, and this is a Salesforce native functionality, you have the possibility to subscribe for a report or a dashboard. So you can do that on behalf of your colleagues. And then every day, for instance, let's say at 7 in the morning, they get a fresh report in their inbox. And again, it's an effortless way for them to make sure that they don't miss an MQL. Then you want to make sure that all of our insights are on the lead, contact, account, and opportunity layout. If I take a contact here, you will see how we can embed the contact insights right there. And here the sales rep can, qualify a prospect. Here I can see, well, there's been interest quite a long time ago. Maybe it's time to follow up. And here are some of the priorities that they've read about: journey tracking, inbound lead prioritization. So make sure this is visible. Don't hide it in a sub menu unless you run, in fact, the risk that they're gonna be ignoring the information, which is really a critical information. On the account record, but also lead and contact, remember we also offer a co-pilot. And the co-pilot offers aspects like next best to do, which can help a sales rep qualify them further. Possibly an MQL slips through your cracks on the marketing side and you're not sure. And this actually allows salespeople to gain more intelligence around real intent. Another use case, in fact, what works really well for a lot of our clients is they're creating email alerts from Sales Cloud. So they're using Salesforce flows, which trigger when somebody reaches a score threshold or when they engage with a specific campaign. And then they create an email within Sales Cloud and they send it to the assigned lead or contact or account owner. And because it comes straight out of Sales Cloud, it offers also a great opportunity to enrich the email alert with Salesforce information, such as company size or a lead source or any other information that you'd like your sales team have straight in their inbox. Also, through a flow, you could set up native notifications. So we have this notification system here in Salesforce. With a flow, you'd be able to create such notifications. You can talk to our team, or your Salesforce admin can help you with that. But that's also interesting, as you can see here on my Apple Watch. If you have the native Salesforce app for Apple Watch or iPhone, but also for Android, your sales team will get these alerts, these native Salesforce notifications straight to their mobile phone and Apple Watch. Now, if you're already using Agentforce, remember that you can create sales ops or marketing ops agents that monitor leads and that will then surface a lead or an account to a salesperson or a sales manager. Again, here, our insights will help you or help the agent then determine when they need to surface it to a specific team. The next one will be a quick one. So, of course, our data will be available in your marketing automation platform, whatever that platform is. A lot of our clients, they send out email alerts straight from the marketing automation system. They essentially leverage data they have in CRM or the marketing automation system, and then they trigger an email going to the signee of the lead or the contact. And that's just also another great way to inform your sales reps. And finally, and then we're almost done here, if you leverage Zapier, and I recommend you check it out because it really is a glue between your various apps in case you use different software that your team's working with. So you could, for example, have a Zap which creates a follow-up task in your CRM or such as Sales Cloud or any other CRM when a lead needs attention from sales. You could, from Zapier, also send an email alert through your Gmail account, or you could notify them in an other app such as Microsoft Teams. Or you could use Zapier logic and then within your CRM, assign a lead to a specific salesperson. Maybe you have your leads unassigned until they are sales ready. You can assign them through a Zap. Of course, in Salesforce, you could do this with a flow as well, but just some ideas here. If you have a sales cadence platform like SalesLoft, Apollo Outreach, you could add a lead to a cadence to make sure your inside sales team pays attention to them. And if you use an agentic system, so Zapier, of course, offers one, but very soon SalesWings is going to launch its MCP. So if you have an agentic platform that qualifies leads or accounts of any kind, you'll be able to query SalesWings data, which provides you for every lead with a RAG file for AI. And then based on that, you can make sure that your agentic system and process will also notify the rep or take action with an AI SDR. So you see there are a range of things you can do, but please, if you're worried about leads falling through the cracks, then probably it's true. So you should be acting. Remember that an optimal speed to lead has real business impact. These are statistics for years several companies have identified. So you can leverage our SalesWings native alerts. They're very easy to set up, provide you great flexibility, and then also make sure just generally to embed the SalesWings insights into your sales and marketing operational processes around sales and marketing alignment. So we're here to support. We're just a call away. Talk to your customer success manager, and together you can figure out what's the best system that works for your team and your setup, and you're going to see great success. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope this was helpful, and I wish you a fantastic rest of your day.